So, hey everybody, it is Beanie Girl. So, I've been watching quite a few of Cypress's videos, linked to Cypress's channel, and her What If series in the link in the description below. I've had a few ideas for a What If series of my own. So, this week's video and topic is, what if Thorn had gotten Stonemover's letter? Late in the dark of the desert sands, Thorn could hear her name being shouted from the outside of the scorpion den. "Thorn!" exclaimed Armadillo. Her sleek, sandy body rushed into her tent. "What is it?" Thorn had asked, her tail raised in defensiveness. Right now it was Armadillo's shift to watch Beetle. "Is the egg—" "No, the egg is fine. I just got a message from a Talons member," Armadillo said. Thorn sat down and quickly gestured for Armadillo to sit down on the sandy carpet next to her. "Thorn," she said, grabbing the letter from her pouch. "It's from Stonemover. He says that he's at Jade Mountain." She seemed choked on the last words as she held out the letter to her leader. "He wants you to join him there." Thorn's face went blank as she evaluated her choices. On the one Talon, she could go and be with her love, the one she had borne an egg with. Or on the other Talon, she had already built a great relationship with her friends. Six Claws, Dune, Armadillo, and even an assassin in the area, Cobra. That morning, Thorn sat down with her three close friends and asked for their opinions. Armadillo, being the little best friend that Thorn had known her entire life, had demanded that if he wanted Thorn to be with her, that he would have to get off his lazy butt and be here with all of them, because whether he liked it or not, Thorn was family, and he was the one who'd run off. Six Claws was very similar, though he said that it was up to her on what to do. Dune simply did not care. He had stated that if there was anything that he could do, he wouldn't do it, because, well, it's her choice. Thorn had decided to pay a visit at Jade Mountain with little Beetle in her egg. Stonemover had been sitting in his cave, sighing and sketching little pictures of Thorn. "Miss me?" Thorn had asked. Stonemover's eyes lit up, his smile wide. After that, it had all changed. Thorn had decided to leave the scorpion den and live with her daughter and her mate. Years later, little Sunny had hatched, and Thorn thought she was perfect. Then, when Sunny was 2, Thorn had proudly announced at dinner, after she'd gotten back from hunting, that she was with Egg. Stonemover had joked that he was going to name this dragonet. Soon after Sunny's third hatching day, little Pharaoh had hatched. He was clearly more like their father, with black wings and sand-colored stars. But what was truly unusual about him was that he had been able to read minds. Thorn had hatched him under the stars. On the sandy rocks, little tear-shaped scales were lined behind his eyes. Thorn had wondered, could it be the stars? But Sunny had hatched under the mountain, under our sky hole, where the moons and stars were covered by trees. "I remember," Stonemover had mumbled. "An old scroll about how dragonets hatched under the moons and sky at night had our powers of old. But then again, that scroll was ages old, and maybe my head was getting loopy." He chuckled, and Sunny nestled into his wings. A year later, when Pharaoh could finally talk, was when he had taken away his father's animus powers, and taken away his stone scales. Pharaoh was not just a mind reader. Pharaoh was also an animus. Years later, when Pharaoh was barely 4 years old, 6 dragonets showed up at their mountain home. Figured out by Stonemover and Pharaoh that they were the dragonets of destiny, and an extra blazing hot skywing for some moon-forbidden reason. Stonemover and his family had welcomed them into the mountain out of the rain. There, after Sunny and Thorn had hunted, Stonemover told the 6 dragonets about that the prophecy was a fluke, a false truth. Sunny had never been told about the prophecy until the 6 of them had shown up. "Wait," Sunny had spoken, before tearing into a rabbit. "I was born on the brightest night." "I wasn't," said the big sand-winged dragonet, who was named Viper. "You weren't?" Sunny and Pharaoh had asked. 2 days before, Viper had said. She was serene but serious, from what Pharaoh could see inside her head. Sunny felt instantly robbed of a life she did not live. Am I a part of the prophecy? Sunny had asked her parents. No, Sonny, Stonemover had said in his voice when he reminded his dragonets about something that he had already said. The prophecy was made up. There was a time when we did have those powers. But not anymore. And I was there when the Nightwing Queen and Morrisier had written it. Sunny felt dejected, her face crestfallen. Pharaoh nudged her side. Sunny smiled, her face enlightening a tiny bit. That's in the middle of the night. Sunny handed the bracelet her mother had given her to Viper. Take care of my family for me, please, Viper. Pharaoh put a spell on it to make you look like me, so that they won't suspect anything. I will. You five be safe. Even you, Peril, she said to the blazing hot skywing. And Glory, don't become a lazy rainwing on me, especially when you promise not to be with that magical death spit of yours. Glory, the rainwing, had made a face at that. She looked nice, even though she was not a part of the prophecy. At least that's what her family had told her. That night, Sunny had said goodbye to Pharaoh and cried as she and her new friends flew away into the desert, towards the Scorpion Den, where Sunny knew that she would have allies, considering her being Thorne's daughter. When Sunny and her newfound friends had arrived at the Scorpion Den a few days after, she'd met her mother's old friends, Six Claws and Armadillo, who were running the Scorpion Den now. And now they had had a new threat, Vulture, the new self-proclaimed king of the Scorpion Den. That is all for today, guys. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week, considering that it's Sunday where I'm at right now. And I am trying to get to a consistent upload schedule. I will upload this on Thursday, and then every Thursday after that I'm going to attempt to upload, and maybe every other Thursday, but I will try! I hope you guys have a lovely day. Please go check out Cypress's channel if you haven't already, and subscribe to them and to me as well.